Okay, guys. Y'all were able to mess with that a little bit? Got the hang of it? It's really easy. I mean, it's no big deal, but I wanted y'all to mess with it a little bit. Now we'll talk about automagic conflicts.
Let's see some of the choices that Automagic offers for resolving dictionary conflicts. Think dictionary conflicts. Eclipse conflict resolution works so well that many users start creating conflicts to improve their translation results and reduce their editing time. Of course, context can be ambiguous, and if Eclipse does pick the wrong choice, Automagic will make it easy to correct.
See what it's telling you right there? It's already thinking ahead as to, you know, one, that's wrong. It did it wrong. So whether you selected it wrong one time or whatever, or it selected it wrong, then it's always going to give you the next choice. Okay? So that's what the Automagic is here for.
So here if I press 1, that picks the first conflict choice. Here again I've simulated another incorrect conflict choice, and so I'll press 1 to pick the right choice for meat.
And you see what it did there? How it had M-E-A-T instead of M-E-E-T? And you just make the choice.
Here's an example of using a conflict so that Eclipse can help you with punctuation. The conflict did resolve correctly, and with my cursor now at the end of this sentence, Automagic is seeing that I might need to put a question mark. I could press 4 to do that, but Automagic is also trying to teach me the hyperkey or speed key. Here's a conflict that involves hyphenation, and I've simulated the need to choose choice 2 to select up to date with hyphens.
You see what it's doing right there? Bless you. You see what it did right there? Okay, say it has it and it has up to date right here. And it doesn't give it to you as one of your choices. No big deal. Do Control G, Control G, Control G. Actually, you know what? It's F7. I'm sorry. And I think I showed you guys this. Do it.
Where?
Get on. Put it on Ben.
Where?
Yeah, Ben. Yeah, just anywhere. It doesn't really matter. And then just do Control 7. I mean Shift. I'm sorry. Just F7. I'm sorry. Go back down. F7. No, just F7. F7.
I have to hit my function key in order to.
Oh, okay. Again. Again. And then hit that little.
This?
Yeah.
Okay, but.
See how it hyphenated it?
Yes, but it would work this way too, right?
Yeah. What'd you do? G?
And mark.
Oh, mark. Okay. Sometimes, and like on mine, it doesn't always. And I think I showed you guys that. And you can even do it, like mark, you can mark 3 words. Mark 3 words. And I'll kind of show you, I'll get out of this, or I'll minimize it. And then you can be right here, and you can do, mark those, and do Shift, quotation marks, and it'll do quotation marks around that.
You have to hit Shift.
Hmm?
You have to hit the Shift.
Well, yeah, because with the
Oh, yeah.
quotation marks, you have to do Shift. Okay? And if you messed it up, you just do Z, and it'll take them off. But it's the same thing with if you mark M, 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 and you do the hyphen key, then it'll hyphenate it. Okay? So really it's just a pretty cool way of shortening up things. Okay? You can do So you see how it'll do it? So if for some reason you don't have it and it doesn't give you the option over here of doing it, then you just mark it, push the dash key, I'm sorry. And it'll put the you in the front.
What if it's, this is why I'm going to question.
What if?
Losing interest, because I keep thinking the more that you do something, it'll learn it. It's not learning what I'm doing. So every time he says that, I'm like, yeah, right, because it's not.
Well, it's not.
It takes
It's
time.
Well,
Like,
like,
it took me a couple months to, like.
It really does, and guys, it's not going to happen like the next time you do it. It's not, you know, the more that you use it, the more that it remembers. So it's not like the first 5 times that you do it, you know, it may not remember it every time. So you have to do the same thing every time in order for it to remember what you're doing.
But can you come look at this, please? So I know that this is kind. It should be kind. Since it's not here, I've just been manually typing it. Like right here, I would just fix it. So how do I get it to memorize that I fixed it since it's not an option?
And now the next time, like put your stroke, put your cursor back there.
So I tried this. It's not showing the new one that I need to make. Otherwise, October is no, these are October, so it's telling me I didn't take it in my whole dictionary.
Try to look for it. Do the step. Up and step. You have to do that. Have to put it on the word, go into the dictionary, and then it should take it to that stroke.
So if I don't want to necessarily define it, like I just wrote it down, that's the way it's gonna
I
be.
just got time to show that.
So what if I take? I need to
Take a picture for the Sarah thing. I need someone to take a picture of my sign.
Of what?
Everyone's doing like a Go Sarah, like taking a picture, and Kenzie's gonna do. Are you on that list?
It's more into your trash.
I'm not trying to like
Control J.
selfie it, it's just not turning out. But then of course I forgot my sign, so.
Okay. Okay.
Blow that G.
So what does this do, just this one time?
But it may just do it in that one job.
So
And
then
it's just a
not
trash
gonna memorize
dictionary.
it later. I just want it to where it pops up here, where it's not in my dictionary, but it just pops up here, and I just get one, two.
Yeah. The more you use it, the more it's going to start understanding what you're doing. But you have to use the thing. You can't just type it in. Okay, guys, sorry, I was helping one of the students, and she was asking why things weren't coming up as these selections of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I think what she was doing was she was just using the insert key. Is that correct? Yeah. She was just inserting it. So when you just insert it, the software doesn't remember that. Okay? So even if you stroked it wrong, and what she had stroked, and I'm not going to tell you who it is, but, and it's no big deal, guys. I mean, it happens to everybody, you know, whatever. So she had stroked K, long I, PD as kind. And if you did it once, more than likely you're going to stroke it wrong again if you did it once. So the chance is pretty good. Now, does it conflict with anything? Kyped? Probably not. I'd put it in your main dictionary, because more than likely if you stroked it wrong once, you're going to do it again. And it doesn't conflict with anything, so put it in your main. But she was saying, well, what if I don't want it in my main? You know, I just wanted, maybe I just did it in this job. This one job they were talking about all kinds of stuff, and they kept using the word kind, and I kept stroking a K, long IPD, because I was just having that kind of a day. No big deal. When you global it, you push G, it globals K, long IPD on that little thing, and I'll show you. You push G here, all of a sudden it opens this box right here. This is where you have the different listings, okay? So you have a trash dictionary, you have a job dictionary, and you have your main dictionary, okay? So these are the shortcuts. Control M is automatically going to take you to your main dictionary. Control J is a job dictionary, and Control T is your trash dictionary. So if it's just at one time, you know, I know that I did it in that job, and you know, or maybe it's just that one time, but you wanted to global it, you can. I'm not quite seeing why you would do that, but I mean, you can. If anything, I'd put it in a job dictionary, because maybe that's probably how you did it in your job, okay? So that's how you would do it. And the more that you use it, the more that it's going to remember, okay? Slick?
It just takes a while.
Yeah, and it does. I mean, and she thought, you know, well, I did it once, I don't know why it's not coming up. Well, you know, it should, but maybe it didn't remember it, or you put it in a job dictionary, and it may not remember it because you put it in a job dictionary.
That's why I was frustrated, because I did it more than once, but now I know I have to global find it.
Yes,
I
not just type it in, yeah. So the typing in is going to remember zero, guys. It's not going to remember anything. Zero, okay? So even if you put it into a job dictionary or a trash dictionary, it's going to remember, okay? It's going to remember those things. But if you just use it as an insert and you just put it in there, it's not going to remember that, okay? She was also asking, she said, well, I tried to go and find it in my dictionary. No big deal. You don't have to necessarily search for it, but you can. So if you go into your dictionary, you do a search, you can search for it. Sometimes, I don't know, that it's kind of quirky, whatever, but a lot of times you can just put your cursor on it, press F9, which is your dictionary, and it takes you into your dictionary, and it should take you to that word. It should take you automatically straight to that word, okay? Instead of having to do the search.
This is actually 3 conflicts in a row, and my cursor is now on a conflict between the word number and capital N-O period if it comes before a number. Eclipse chose the right choice, but if it had not, I could have chosen the choice from the automagic list. Here's a conflict that helps with punctuation. Sometimes I tend to write the comma, sometimes I leave it out, but the conflict anticipates the need for commas or not. Finally, here's a conflict that helps.
You see how I was kind of guessing before? It knows that it's usually going to use a comma afterwards, but if you don't want it, it'll leave it off, and if you want it, then usually it's one of the selections. You know, and right like here, you know, you don't always want to have street in your main dictionary as a capital. It's no big deal. It's going to know that if it, you know, it's probably going to come up as an option. Well, sometimes when you write street with any other word, and it doesn't, you know, it doesn't matter which word it is. A lot of times it'll give you that option. Even if it says, maybe it's obtain, and there's a street name, obtain, bless you, and it's obtain street. Well, most of the time, obtain is just gonna be a word. But it's gonna give you that option, hey, because you had street in there, did you want it capitalized? Yeah, I did, because the lady does live on obtain street. So, you know, it's always gonna give you that option, okay?
With capitalization, what would happen if I needed to choose choice 2 to capitalize the word street? This entry in the dictionary starts with a command to capitalize the previous word.
So if you wanted to capitalize the previous word, that's the command for it, okay? That's a command for capitalize the previous word. But you don't really need it there because state and street could be both capitalized and lowercase. Okay, so there, that would be kind of tough. But it's no big deal. You make a selection on the number 2, it's automatically going to put them. You press number 2, does it, you keep on going. It's quick. Okay?
Capitalized the word state. For each of these conflict entries of various sorts, Automagic not only makes it easy to pick the appropriate choice, but it gives you other possibilities as well. Perhaps you need to delete the conflict in a particular spot, or global the steno to mean something. Choose choice 2 to capitalize the word street. This entry in the dictionary starts with a command to capitalize the previous word. It capitalized the word state. For each of these conflict entries of various sorts, Automagic not only makes it easy to pick the appropriate choice, but it gives you other possibilities as well. Perhaps you need to delete the conflict in a particular spot, or global the steno to mean something else. Automagic makes it easy.
See what it's saying? It just gives you the options right here and tells you what the commands are for the options, the different options that you're gonna have, okay? So if you ever forget, it's like, oh, well, how do I global? Look over here, it might be one of the options. Oh, it's G, that's right. No big deal. So it's always thinking ahead of what you're trying to do.
Let's see how Total Eclipse form fields make it easy to fill in the blanks for information that changes from transcript to transcript. From transcript to transcript. There are several ways to begin filling in the blanks. You can click on a toolbar menu, or go to the production menu, or use speed key Control E, or hyperkey E.
That's how you fill these little blanks in. So if you want to go through and fill in all the form fields, that's how you do it. Control E, which is hyperkeys or not, or just E, which is hyperkeys. Okay?
How do you even get the form filled? Like,
Whoa, now you want to teach a class?
no, I'm being serious. I mean, okay, so I don't even know when I would even use that because I don't even know how to get the thing that shows me where I would fill in the blank.
You know how they have talked about doing were you here when they had talked about making the student version of the appearance pages?
Yes, but that hasn't happened yet, so I haven't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how to do any of that. I don't know.
I'm
Yeah.
creating the student version of the block file and I'll distribute it once it's ready. And then
You
you
know,
should be able
I
to.
have it. I have the stuff. Oh,
I
you're
have all
going to do the
block
student
files,
version.
but
Okay.
there's a student version, so we didn't need attorney for CPS, student,
Oh,
or
okay.
like ad litem. It
Well,
just-
you can go through there and just
Yes, I
edit.
was just
Yeah.
deleting things that we didn't
Yeah.
need, and then I was gonna
Yeah.
redistribute it to the students
Yeah.
as student appearance
Yeah.
page. And then you should be able to, once I fix it, just be able to click E
Yeah.
and then just fill in the form fields and it'll be correct.
And from what I understand, and that was kind of a good question.
I guess.
I think she's trying to teach a class, but whatever. But no, I mean, you guys aren't going to use it here because you're not really doing a transcript. But from what I understand, some of the students have voiced enough concern, not concern, but
I would say concern.
It's not really a concern, it's more of an interest in wanting to do more like a transcript, okay, closer to a transcript, which is good. I mean, it's good because the more you learn, the better you're going to become at it and you're going to know. But like in school, you're not going to use this. What they're going to do is teach you, which is what I'm doing. You know, and some of the students that have shown interest, that have taken some of the other classes, have the block files, and what they're doing is modifying the block files to where you're going to start putting them in your transcripts or your test or your practice, and you're going to start putting them in like it's a real transcript. That's when you're going to use it. You're not going to use it on stuff that you use here in school if you know, if they didn't do it otherwise. Is that what you were asking?
Yes.
Yeah.
In this blank, I'll type in a number, and pressing enter is okay. Blanks can be set to automatically adjust their size to accommodate your text, and to delete the entire line thereon if you leave the blank empty. So the line that was here was automatically deleted. Blanks can also be set to completely capitalize whatever text gets placed in them, and to look in a list file to give you choices. This blank knows how I filled in the witness's name in other spots in my transcript, and it's prompting me in case that information has changed.
So once you do it one time, most of the time it'll remember. Well, last time you did Fido Doe, okay, whatever. And it's just gonna bring the name up in a prompt. Well, maybe you don't want it there. So it kind of brings it up in bold, I mean in, yeah, I guess in a bold, to where it gives you the option, you just press OK and it puts it in there, or you just start typing and that thing goes away, okay?
But I'll just press OK. And finally, form fields can make it quick and easy to insert client information. Within these short presentations, it's not possible to show all that form fields can do, so a separate in-depth ePower video tutorial is available on form fields and automatic indexing.
And they go through and really show you in depth how to even, you know, make these form fields, okay? So like you're gonna have a form field for like exhibits, witnesses' names, dates, the type of hearing it is, the cause number, the style of the case, all of these things are gonna have that, okay? And you know, if for some reason, and one of the other students had asked me, you know, about the title pages or whatever. I can't remember who it was. I think it was Carmen. Did you?
Yeah, Carmen and I.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, if you guys want to get with them and get those, then it might be easier, because if not, you're going to get mine, and then you're going to have to go through and modify it to where you want it, okay?
Now I'm modifying it for the way it's the student one, and then I'm
Yeah.
gonna give it to, start giving it out to the students.
Yeah, yeah. So it'll be easier that way. But it's set up in a form field, it's mine, and it's set up in a form field where it's just modified a little bit, and then you go through and fill in the blanks of whatever you want. So it's gonna be, it'll be pretty cool, you know, once they do it. And if y'all need some help doing that, let me know.
Yeah, I'm
And I'll
gonna
kinda tweak it a
modify it,
little
and
bit.
then I may email it to you just to make sure that the form,
Yeah.
I wanna make sure that the formatting with the middle line.
Yeah, yeah, it's set up, correct. Yeah,
But it's, I'll teach her to insert a block files are Alt-R. Because people are like, how do you even get it in there?
Yeah.
Alt-R.
Are we gonna learn how to actually make the fill-in boxes?
yeah, yeah. That's gonna be the advanced class. So that's gonna be the next class. So like all of that stuff, like this class is just basic, guys. I wanna teach you the basic stuff of what these things do. The next class, we're gonna put a whole transcript together, the whole thing. So you're gonna be bringing your machines, and we're gonna be messing with stuff on your machines and doing stuff with your machines, okay? This is the basic stuff, but you have to learn this stuff first, because if you don't get this stuff down, when we get into the advanced class, you're gonna be completely lost, okay? So that's why I'm telling you, mess with this stuff now. Mess with it now, get it down now, so that when we get in the advanced class, you're already, oh yeah, you know, I already know how to put prefixes and suffixes. I already know how to get to a blank, fill in a blank form field and stuff like that. I don't know how to set up a form field, but I know how to get in there, set it up, and what it does, okay?
Sometimes you can even look for stuff in the help, like the help, you can look like, how do I do X? And it'll tell you if you're looking for something specific.
Yeah. So if you're in the exercise, and do it right now. Put your cursor right there, and then just push E. And then type in your name in all caps.
It does it for you. It already puts it in all caps for you. Or are you supposed to do it? Does it put mine in all caps?
Well, you probably had your caps on. But yeah, you want it in all caps. But not only your form fields, you're going to want in caps. So, and then do E again, and then you can do the attorney info. So go through and mess with that a little bit. All right? Any questions about what we covered tonight?
So the T will just take you from place to place, but doing the multi-scan will just do all of it?
All of it.
Okay.
Yeah. So every time you push
Get out
T.
of multi-scan, but is that just Z? Just tell it to stop doing multi-scan?
No, it's Control Shift M.
Just
Control Shift M turns it on, the multi-scan, and Control Shift M turns it off.
Okay. Because it said, just turn it off. I was like, oh my God, turn it off.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Control Shift M. Okay? Any questions about what we did tonight, guys? No? All right. Well, that's all for tonight.